1989. The entire Soviet Union is in a state of panic. A man considered to be the most dangerous patient in history has escaped from a maximum security psychiatric hospital. He had no weapons, but he had white metal teeth and an icy stare. The police launched a manhunt that would last 2 years. But how was he able to hide for so long? Nikolai did not resemble a monster. He was well-read, polite, travelled the world, and served in the military. Women found him charming and handsome. However, behind the mask of a gentleman lay a personality inspired by dark cults. He believed that he gained power by performing ancient, forbidden rituals. Nikolai Jumagaliev had come to the attention of law enforcement agencies on more than one occasion. But the system made several mistakes that cost people their safety. In the late 1970s, he committed a series of serious crimes in the southern part of the Kazakh SSR. First one victim, then several more. It was then that the police first picked up his trail. He was arrested in August 1980 after an incident with a friend. He was then diagnosed with schizophrenia by a specialised institute. This diagnosis radically changed the course of the case. In November of the same year, he was released from custody, and the charges of serious crimes did not lead to a long prison sentence. Once he got out, he kept hiding a totally different side of himself behind his ordinary appearance. As a result, the system, which was initially sure it had dealt with the threat, was actually wrong. It was these mistakes that allowed him to stay free and be a threat to society. According to the investigation, he was linked to 7 victims in the late 1970s and early 1980s. The case received particular attention because episodes of cannibalism and ritualistic behaviour were confirmed, which were later linked to severe mental illness. His nicknames were Iron Fang and Satan. Jumagaliev claimed that by killing and eating women, he was cleansing society and becoming almost a saint himself. His actions became increasingly daring. The cannibal not only attacked women on their way home, but also broke into their homes. He killed people with perverse cruelty. The cannibal explained his actions as follows: "I read in a book that fresh blood purifies the soul." For almost 2 years, the police, pilots, and hang gliders searched for him, and later, even the military joined in. He remained at large for 2 years, and this period became one of the biggest inconsistencies in the system. For many, he became an almost legendary figure, a man who managed to disappear from an entire country. In an attempt to confuse the investigation, Jumagaliev sent a letter from Moscow via a frontman with the cynical phrase, "There are so many beautiful women here, no one will notice their disappearance." And with that, he killed another girl. His 10th victim was a student from Aktobe in 1990. The letter trick briefly distracted the investigators, but there was nowhere else to hide, Then the maniac staged a sheep theft, pretending to be an illegal immigrant from China, because he hoped to get away with a meaner crime. However, Zhumagalieva was quickly exposed and placed back in a psychiatric hospital. In 1994, amid the political chaos following the collapse of the USSR, Zhumagaliev was declared recovered and released. The maniac's return shocked local residents. Women demanded protection, while men openly expressed their hatred. As a result, he was finally placed in a special hospital. In recent years, there have been reports that for the first time in decades, he has been able to communicate with relatives by telephone, indicating an improvement in his condition. At the time of his last capture 10 years ago, the cannibal Zhumagaliev was 62 years old. He's still alive, and his bloody biography has formed the basis of several documentary and artistic projects. Today, Nikolai Zhumagaliev remains a figure debated by criminal historians and researchers of the Soviet era. To what extent was the system able to cope with him? And what remains in the public memory after such cases? But the main question often asked by those who study such cases is it really just a mental disorder, or is there something deeper behind it?